Well, the daughter of an Army veteran who served nearly 60 years ago doesn't have enough money right now to bury her father.
Yeah, this is sad. The Army soldier, a Knoxville native, died 6 weeks ago in Detroit. His family believed he would be buried at a local veteran cemetery, but a really important document is missing.
Yeah, that was needed. WATE 6 on your side consumer reporter Don Dare was called to see if there was any way he could help. Don, what'd you find out?
Well, Lori, at first the situation seemed very daunting for the daughter of the veteran. The missing document, called a DD Form 214, couldn't be found. Without it, there was no way to confirm the veteran's status for Curtis Slay. Plus, there was another complication. Mr. Slay had his name legally changed, and as a result, some documents didn't match. The last 6 weeks for Karen Welsh have been stressful. First, there was the death of her beloved father. Then there were funeral arrangements to be made and a trip to Detroit, Michigan, where he lived. Curtis Slay, a retired General Motors worker, left enough money for his daughter and son to pay for his funeral. But Karen wanted her father to be home in Knoxville, where he grew up.
My dad was great. He was wonderful. I'm a daddy's girl. And we made arrangements to bring him back home so that he could be buried here with friends and childhood and everything. This is where he grew up at. This is his discharge papers. It says Curtis Lee Slay.
Because her father was a veteran, he served 2 years in the Army, Mrs. Welsh wanted him buried at the Veteran Cemetery in Knoxville, where there would be no charge.
The only thing that is holding us up with this borough is VA is saying that they can't find records of my father being in the Army.
Missing is a DD Form 214. It's a separation document which verifies a military member's service for benefits and retirement.
This is his birth certificate to show that he was originally born as Curly. He was born Curly Slay, but before he went in the Army, he changed his name from Curly to Curtis. They say they don't find any record of my father at all.
My goal is to serve families.
Brian Buckman is a funeral director and an Army veteran. He told us Mr. Slay's arrangements were paid in full, but when the remains and casket were brought to his funeral home, it was learned Mr. Slay could not be buried in a military cemetery.
After trying to search diligently with the Veteran Cemetery to get a DD 214, we had a copy of a discharge. But what the Veterans Administration was saying, that did not belong to him. The Social Security numbers did not match up. So therefore, unfortunately, we're not able to bury him in the Veterans Cemetery.
However, Patton Funeral Home made arrangements at New Gray Cemetery in Knoxville as Mr. Slay's final resting space. The cost of the funeral would be $2,800, and the funeral home deducted another $400.
Childhood friend Clarence McDowell got with a lot of people in the Lonsdale community, and they raised the money. We're just short by just a little over $600 from being able to lay him to rest.
What you need now is $607. We told the story of Mr. Slay and his daughter to a church group. Immediately, out of their benevolence fund, they paid for the opening and closing of the grave. Karen's tears of anguish have now been turned to tears of joy as burial arrangements are being finalized at New Gray Cemetery.
Anyone that wore the uniform deserves to be
buried properly.
Yes.
Now, the church that donated the money to pay for the opening and closing of the grave, it wants to remain anonymous. Mrs. Welsh is grateful for the church's generosity, and arrangements are underway for Mr. Slay's interment at New Gray Cemetery. Bo?
Don, thank you very much. And if you have a consumer question for Don, send him an email at ddare@wat.com. You can also call his 6 on your side hotline number. We have the number on the screen, 865-633-5974.